Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. You see this scenario that I am showing you in the video, and you can understand the topic that I am going to talk to you about. Yes, it is earthquake, and this is a devastating situation that happens in an earthquake. Before we study earthquake, let us study how does our earth look like. So, when we go to the interior of the earth, there is an inner core. Then we have an outer core, which is the core of the earth. Then we have a fluid mantle, and then the crust, the landform. So, there are various tectonic plates. These are small plates which keep on floating on the mantle, in different directions. So, there are basically three different types of fault because this tectonic plates will keep on moving. So there are various kinds of fault. The first one is the normal fault, where the two plates will move away from each other, creating a gap. The next is a reverse fault, when the two plates are coming close to each other and sliding over each other. That is a reverse fault. Next, we have strike slip fault. So they are moving in a sidewise directions from each other. Either left or right. So based on these faults, there are the seismic zones that we see in India. You can see in the eastern region, there is a lot preferability of earthquakes to happen. That is why it is zone 5, which is highest. Then we have zone 4, which is red in color, like Bihar, New Delhi, Jammu and Kashmir areas. Then we have zone 3, which is moderate, where we have the West Bengal, Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh. Likewise. Now, to see into this, we have the zone 2, which is the final one, which is the least active zone, which are the other areas like Tamil Nadu and all this bluish, yellowish area that you see. Next, coming to what is an epicenter, what is a focus, what is a seismic wave. So, where the earthquake originally occurs is the focus. And just straight above in the land, it is the epicenter. The waves that are caused are the seismic waves. Now, here you see, there is the red color one is the fault line that is there. That is what the fault is there. And the earthquake is occurring at focus or hypocenter, and just perpendicular above in the ground, that is the epicenter. Next, how is the earthquake measured? By using seismograph. So here, when we have a seismograph, it has a rigid support to which there is a spring which has been connected. This spring is connected to a weight which is further connected to a pen. There is a rotating drum with a sheet. There is continuous mark that is taken up by the pen, and thus you are getting the graph from the seismic waves that is occurring. So this is an original seismic, the graph that are occurring. You can see various graphs according to the vibrations that is there in the earth. We get the graph. Now, how do we understand whether it is earthquake or not? You can see a single impulse, and then when the graph is very rapid here and there for a longer duration, that is a longer duration of shaking that is taking place. And this will give what is the range of the earthquake, or how heavy the earthquake is. You can have the main shock, which is 3.3. Then you have the aftershocks, because after the earthquake there are again few shocks which are there, which is 2.9. Maybe there is going to be another earthquake, that's why you have 1.74 shock. So what is an aftershock? Aftershock is after the earthquake, there are various small shocks where the number of events decreases as well as the magnitude of the earthquake decreases. That is when we call it as an aftershock. The first event would have occurred, it was 140 vibrations there, it was there. Then it reduced to 60 and then 5 vibrations. Earthquake is measured in Richter scale. So 0 to 2 Richter scale is not felt by the people, which happens regularly. 2 to 3, which is felt by very little number of people. 3 to 4, you will find the ceilings, lights swing. 4 to 5, there is a cracking in the walls that can happen. 5 to 6, the furnitures would move. Whereas when we talk about 6 to 7, buildings would collapse, and 7 to 8 is destruction would occur. The buildings may get destroyed. And if we have 8 and above that, then the total destruction of buildings, bridges, so it is a completely devastating features. So when we talk about Richter scale, we have 8 levels. We have another scale which is known as Mercalli scale, which has got 12 levels. Okay, so the 12 levels are again distributed like, first is not felt, 2 is felt by few people at rest and especially in the upper floors. 3 is when it is felt is noticeably indoors but not always recognized. 4 is it is felt indoors by many, but outdoors it is not felt. When you are outside, you don't know that the earthquake would have occurred. 5, level 5 is when it is felt by most of the people and there is some breakage. 6 is felt by all and many frightening and they run outside. 7 is everybody run outdoors, damage to the building occurs. 8, we have panels of the walls breaking up, and then we have other devastating features. Now, how do you save yourself during earthquake? If the earthquake happens, do not panic. Get under a support like a study table and all those things. If you are in a wheelchair, lock your wheelchair and then protect your head by your hands and squat down. Again, if you are on your bed, you need not get up and run away. Take your pillow and put it over your head so that your head is safe. And whenever you are very close to an electric pole or a furniture, you should run away from there to a very safe place. So to summarize up, if you are indoor, you drop, cover and hold on to a support. Do not panic. Calm down. If you're inside, stay away from any furnitures, windows, lamps, etc. If you're outside, you stay away from buildings, walls, power poles, etc. If you're driving, bring your car to a stop, switch on the hazard lights and stay inside the vehicle. Cover your head. If you're in a wheelchair, then you should push your brake of the wheelchair. Protect your head with your arms. If you're in a crowded place, then you protect your head with your arms and take cover under some shades, tables or something, under your seats, tables, etc. Next is tsunami. So you have huge waves that comes out. So what is tsunami? A tsunami is a series of huge waves that happen after a undersea disturbances such as an earthquake or volcanic eruptions. So if under the sea there is any volcanic eruptions or if there is an earthquake basically under the sea, then it causes huge waves which can go to a very huge heights and can completely destroy the closed areas. So you can see the waves. These are real pictures of tsunami where the waves have gone to above the height of huge buildings in that area. And it can actually take away, it will go away from the range of the sea and get into the cities and cause a huge devastating features when tsunami occurs. So that is it about earthquake and tsunami. Thank you. If there is any doubts, you can put it